Welcome to the Melissa Banks Show. I'm your host, Melissa Banks. I'm so excited to have you here today. This show is
Thank you.
all about celebrating the journeys of authors, artists, musicians, people who are boldly chasing their dreams, creating meaningful products and services, and inspiring others to do the same. Each
Right.
episode will uncover the stories behind the successes, the lessons learned from the challenges, and the advice that spark action in your own life. My goal is simple. It's to remind you that your dreams are possible and to leave you feeling inspired and empowered. So let's get started with today's show. Our guest today is Bobbie Washington. Bobbie is an independent R&B soul singer, songwriter, producer, and a whole lot more, and you'll find that out in our conversation. Thank you, Bobbie, for being here and sharing your incredible journey with us.
Thank you for having me, Miss Melissa Banks. I appreciate being here on your show.
Thank you again. Now, Bobbie, I want you to take us back to the beginning of this incredible journey. So, what
Mm.
made you first believe that music was the path that you were supposed to follow?
Oh, um, let's see. I started back in the day, man. When I first heard, let's see, Curtis Blow. These are the breaks. I started dancing with my bigger brother, and after I started dancing, I started rapping. And then when I heard Michael Jackson, Santa Claus is coming to town, I wanted to sing. And then I heard New Edition, Candy Girl, and I definitely wanted to sing. So that started my path. And by the time I got to junior high school, the school, I guess, had a few talent shows. I joined, and they liked my moves. They liked my singing. My voice was high pitched back then, like those guys. So they called me Little Michael Jackson of Miami Northern Senior High School. I mean, junior high school. So much that I did a video wearing Michael Jackson's jacket, and we actually reenacted the Beat It video where we actually met the kids out in the spill out where we had the duel. Like Michael Jackson had the duel with the guy in the warehouse. I was the Michael Jackson of the school, and for years they would show that video to other kids that were in the arts. So I would say, man, as early as 10 years old, 11 years old, is when I wanted to sing. Had no idea how I was going to pursue it, but I knew that I wanted to do it. So I grew up, in Miami, Florida, in the city, different parts of the city, Opelika, Brown Sub, all parts, Hollywood, um, Miami Shores, by Cloverleaf Apartments. I mean, I grew up over in those areas. Had a lot of friends, both in music and not in music. I started singing in a singing group who was actually managed by AJ Alexander. AJ Alexander went on to become Bobby Brown's bodyguard, and later he discovered Usher. And if you go down my timeline on my follows, he's actually following me, and I'm following him as well. He's also a great comedian, so shout out to AJ for giving me that start. And in '89, we actually opened up for New Kids on the Block in '89 at a club called Randolph's in Miami, Florida, and that's one of Maurice Starr's birth childs. He actually birthed them, and he birthed New Edition. So shout out to Maurice Starr as well. And I heard he was sick. I hope he's getting better now. So I wish him well wishes.
Well, you know what? What I was listening to your path, and early on, that spark was there. So often, some of us don't find it till much later, and go through a lot of different things. So you were definitely blessed, and I could feel the time when you were talking about the time. I'm old, so I can feel the
Hey, you know, your age with like fine wine.
Thank you
You know
for
what I
that.
mean?
Okay, let's talk about this amazing career. Over 28 years, Bobbie. What were
Yes.
some of the early challenges that you had to push through and overcome to not allow it to stop you?
Um, people disbelief, people saying you can't do this, you need to get a regular job, you need to do this, and I never believed that. I just believe I can make my own path. Most people think the music industry is the only way to make a living at doing music, and I found my own way. To make money, make a living doing just music, and I love my career. I love my path. I love music, and I love inspiring others through music. I don't wish to be in the industry that way. I don't want to have to perform on stages because the labels tell me I have to. I don't want to get old and make my voice uh, overwork my voice so much on stage where when I get old, they start talking about me and start, saying, "Hey, Unc need to go sit down. He can't sing no more." I don't want that. They're doing that to so many of our legends right now. They're doing it to Denise Williams. They're doing it to Howard Hewitt. They're doing it to Freddie Jackson. They did it to Frankie Belly, may he rest in peace. They do it to so many people, man. You know, even Gladys Knight, although she sounds great, they say she forgot her words. And so what? You know what I'm saying? So um, that's my thing. I wanted to be able to make a career in my own lane, and I said, hey, I'm gonna make music in my studio. I'm in my studio right now, and I get to produce it here, promote it at the same time, go out there and sell it. And that's all I want to do. I want to make music that sells, music that reach the heart, like you said, that reach your heart. I want to reach people's hearts that they want to buy it, share with other people, and they buy it. And that's what I want to do. Now, I'm not opposed to doing the shows occasionally, but I don't want to have to do that for a living. You know, I enjoy just making my music, selling it. I enjoy making movies. I do film as well for Tubi Television. I enjoy making music videos, shooting for others, doing edits for others, flying my drone. I love doing a lot of things independently.
You know what? A lesson in that, Bobbie, is that just because there's a template, if you will, of what it's supposed to look like, your dream is your dream and you make it happen in your way. So I just appreciate that lesson. When I was getting to know you, preparing for this interview, I did
Yeah.
see something that I found very unique and interesting is that you built your name independently, one
Yes.
city, one fan at a time. So, what did
Yes.
that season of your journey teach you about faith, about discipline, and about
Yes.
persistence?
Hand to hand combat. Well, basically, it's all faith, man. God said He'll make a way, you know, with our talents. You know what I mean? But faith without works is dead, right? And works without faith is dead. So you have to have both. So I have faith in my music, so I put the work in by putting feet to concrete, and also my wheels burning rubber from Miami all the way to New York to California, and selling my music because I believe in it. Just like E40 believed in his, Too Short believed in his, MC Hammer, Master P. All these guys came from the trunk of their cars, but they just rap. I sing. That's the difference. But I believe enough to do it, and
And
I
that's
think
it.
that's
That's
what it is.
believing in yourself.
That's it. Believing in yourself, man, and having faith, man, that you don't have to have a particular. Most of the guys who have record deals, a lot of them end up broke. You know, because they don't handle the business. They let people they rely on others to handle the business for them. They trust them to handle the business, and the guys who handle the business for themselves. They're trying to get paid. Whereas you just want to be on stage and sing and get famous, but it's not going to put money in your pocket unless you know how to maneuver the business part. See.
And that's it. That's putting in the work. When did you realize, though, when you were selling your CDs from city to city,
Mhm.
did you realize that you were really building something so much bigger than just what you were doing?
Yeah, I felt that every one person has at least about 5 or 10 friends. So I knew that if I sold one record to this person, at least 5 or 10 people would know about me because of that person. And it worked in Miami first. You know, I'm from Miami, that's where I was born and raised. But it got to the point where, my name got around so much that people would say, hey man, my cousin got your record. My uncle got your record. On the radio, they say, hey, you heard about this guy Bobby Washington? I seen his posters around the city on the poles, and I heard his music dripping wet, man. Who is this guy? That was 99 Jams. Jill Tracy, may she rest in peace. So I just knew that people knew the word of mouth was going to get around, and that's how it always been from grassroots promotions from the beginning. I don't know why people stopped it. I mean, the internet came in to be an aid to help to take it to the next level, kind of put it on steroids, but it wasn't to replace the street. A lot of people got lazy. A lot of the young kids, man, they're terrified to come out there and meet you guys. They don't want to meet nobody unless they see them behind a computer. You know what I mean? So I'm glad I was born into a time where the grassroots was the only way. And now when they gave me internet, they just made me bionic. I'm like the $6 million man now because I got the streets and I got the internet. So I love it all. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely. Let me reset here, Bobbie. If you're just joining us, this is the Melissa Banks Show. Our guest today is Bobbie Washington. Bobbie is an independent R&B soul singer, songwriter, and producer. So, Bobbie, let's talk about independent artist life, right? You
Yeah.
sold you sold over what I think I read 600,000 albums or something like that.
Yeah,
What
in total, yeah, 28 years. Let's get it clear. 'Cause people like, so you should be a millionaire. Well, do the math now.
yeah,
If I do 10 to 20,000 a year for 28 years, you're gonna get that too. You know what I'm saying? But I
yeah.
got but I gotta live off of that money. I never slept on the bridge, thank God. You know what I mean? I use the money to pay for my wife and my two kids, my cars, my home where I live. You know what I'm saying? My livelihood. So I'm not a millionaire, but I'm living comfortably. I'm good.
But people connect with you and with your music. So what do you think it is that makes them connect in such a powerful way with you?
I hope it's my personality, man. My honesty, my humbleness. You know, I'm very humble. I speak to people. People can inbox me. I have no idea who they are. I'll inbox people back. I'll actually do a voice message and talk to people directly because I want them to know I'm human, man. I'm not no better than anybody else. A lot of stars want to be on that pedestal because that's what the labels tell them they should be. But I think that we all human, man. We all put our feet on, our shoes on one leg, one foot at a time, our pants on one leg at a time. And when we leave this place, we gonna leave the same way. You know what I mean? We came in the world the same way. You know what I mean? Most of
Yeah,
us. So no one is better than anybody else. I don't put anybody up here. Only one person's up here, and that's God. That's it. That's Jesus. That's the only one that's up there. Regular people are just people, and I'm just a regular person. So I think that's why they relate to me because I'm very, real. I'm human. I'm humble, and that's what I want to be.
absolutely. Because when I reached out to you, I was like thinking that it was going to be a very different situation, really. But when I got ready, we talked. It was like I was talking to somebody I knew but I never met before, and I love that
Oh,
from you. I love that getting that spirit from you, and I'm sure that's what
thank you,
connects people to you. So,
thank
Bobbie,
you.
let's talk about all these hats that you wear. So
Yes,
you
ma'am.
you write, you produce, you record,
Yes,
you
yes,
distribute, you do. You wear a lot of hats. I was just talking
yeah.
to someone today about all the hats that I wear, but when I was looking, I was like, I'm lazy compared to all of these hats that you wear. Talk to us though, because what I find is you have to be able to stay focused on your
Yes,
goals and your desires and your product.
yes.
How do you stay focused and on where you
Right,
want to be and keep your heart in it like you have it and wear all these hats that
right. Schedule. Yeah, yeah. I treat this like a 9 to 5. Like I said, I left my 9 to 5 in '98, and I made this my 9 to 5. So I keep a schedule. Now with ChatGPT, it is even better because he helps me keep my schedule. Right. I call my ChatGPT Chatbird. Right. He calls me Daddy Boy. So when I talk, I say, listen, I need to have a schedule that lets me do. Okay, one day I want to record the song. I want to do the track. Right. Then I want to be able to send it out to my musicians to add some stuff to it, some embellishments to it. Then I want to have a session where I'm recording the vocals. I want to have a time where I come back and I mix and I master it. Then I want to have a time when I go out and I sell. I want to have a time when I do this and that. So I put a time schedule together for everything I do. My graphics and stuff like that. Right now, I'm about to release the next album After Dark, which I'm doing the graphics right now. Before I got on the phone with you just now, I was actually out there doing the graphics for that. So that's going to be dropping next week. So and my goal is to keep dropping records every other day, every 3 days, to really push the algorithm for R&B and really push it in the forefront and have a whole bunch of R&B under my catalog. So I just have a structured time, and I know they say jack of all trades, master of none. But in my case, I feel I've mastered them all because I really put my heart and soul into everything I do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So if I'm gonna learn something, especially with the internet, man, it's so easy to learn stuff, and I've been blessed with the brain to be able to retain the knowledge and really and sometimes even maneuver my own thing into it and make it my own thing. Even though people using the same tool, I may do it a different way to make it my own thing. I've been gifted that way, man, and every day God give me a different idea to add on. So I don't try to like make my life too complicated, but my life is my music. I don't hang out, I don't drink, I don't smoke. I ain't got a bunch of guy friends that I hang around. All I have is my wife and my two kids. And I got a friend that I talk to. He live in California. So I never even met him before, but it's my homeboy, my homie on the phone because he sells his music in California. He's a rapper. His name is Shadow. So I talk to him every now and then to give him encouragement, to give me encouragement when I'm out there grinding. And so I got a friend named Zarek. He's in Miami. He's a cop down there. He also used to sing with me in the group back in the day. So I talk to him every now and then on the phone. So I already have people I hang with. So my life is just my music. So I got time when I wake up in the morning to go, number one, I do my walk or run, I sprint, I do my push-ups. I come back, I take a bath, I get ready with my music. I do something with maybe 2 hours with the music. I hit the streets for like 4 to 6 hours, sometimes 8. Come back in, do some graphics, maybe do some content. Put some videos together when I'm out there selling. I'm taking video content, people buying my music, so that's content. I may get in the car. I got something called listening from the trunk. a contest where I'm here, I'm testing the sound of my car. That's video content. I may get in my studio here and sing a song. That's content. So I just find ways to do everything around my day that's around my music, and that's how I
I
do it.
love that. I absolutely love that, and I don't want our audience to miss that. You do a lot, yes. You love what you do, and that's why it's your life. And but
Yes.
you don't approach your day haphazardly. You have
Yeah.
a plan, and my publicists talk about that all the time. You have a plan, and you're not negotiable about that plan, and that
No.
helps you stay focused. I wanted to make sure that they got that because that is the key: is to be able to have a plan and to execute
Yes.
your plan in order. So thank you for that.
Yeah.
Bob,
You're welcome.
let's talk about, I want you to give some advice. What advice would you give to someone who's listening to you right now, who has a
Mm,
desire for a similar path that you have taken, but they
mm,
haven't been able to move? They're stuck. They're either waiting on someone else to come through and make it
mm.
happen for them, or they're just too afraid to step out there. What advice would you have for them?
The first thing is if they believe in God, that's the first thing. You should believe in Him if you don't. But because He teaches us no fear. He don't have we shouldn't have a spirit of fear because God don't believe in that. So you have to remove that false expectation appearing real. FEAR. It's not. It doesn't exist. That's all in your mind, or maybe it's some of the people that's around you instilling that fear into you, right? Not believing in you, saying you can't do this, do that. You need to start where you are. Even if you have a regular job, you can take money from your job and put it towards your business. Even if you bake cakes, you do lawn, right? You can get 10 customers, baking cakes, 10 customers knocking on doors and getting ten yards to cut. So whatever you want to do, you can start where you are. You ain't got to start big. You just start where you are, and it's going to grow. No matter what you do, if you water something, it has to grow. That's just the way laws of physics is designed, right? So you have to start. But if you never start, you're never going to get to the middle. You're definitely not going to finish.
And that's the key. You have to start. Use what you have. Start where you are. That's what he said. So thank
That's
you for
it.
that. And that encouraged someone to take that first step today. So Bobby, when someone is listening to your music, how do you
Yeah.
want them to feel? I shared with you before we went live how I felt when I first heard the first song when I was doing my
Yeah.
research. How is it that you want people to feel or remember when they listen to your music?
Man, the biggest thing that God wants from us, love. That's it. Love. I have a gospel album, two gospel projects, but I'm not a gospel artist. I'm a love artist. I'm a soul artist. But I love the Lord with all my heart. And I do believe that He made us to love one another as well. And we can't sing about that, despite what some people may say in churches, in different churches. I believe we can sing about love. So I want people to feel love. We should be able to love each other. I can see you right here. I can't even see my creators. I can't see him physically with my eyes, but I know he's there. I feel him through the Holy Spirit, right? When I receive the Holy Spirit, right, and the gift of speaking in tongues, I feel the Holy Spirit in me, within me. So I know that he's there, right? But people who haven't experienced that will say he's not there, but they can see me. So if you can see me, you gotta love. You should love me, right? So I want to leave love, and that's what I do with my music. I want my music to make you feel love, that frequency of love, with all the bad things that's going on in this world. People getting killed, shooting up schools, people putting deliberate bad frequencies in their music so you can go do crazy stuff. I want to lead with love, and I want to end with love. So my music is all about love, whether it's love making or just talking about love in general, like love song doesn't talk about love making, right? There's a couple songs I have don't talk about love making. A lot do, but a lot don't. So that's what I want, just love.
Thank you for that. Thank you for sharing your amazing journey with us today. I know that it inspired and encouraged so many people that were listening. So thank you for your time and for sharing with us. Now, let us know, let our audience know how they can get your music, how they can stay connected with
Yes.
all that you do, and what to look forward to.
Okay. I appreciate it. So right now, like I said, After Dark is coming out in a couple of days. You can get all my music exclusively, even before it hit the streaming platforms, at my personal Bandcamp website. It's spelled Bobby Washington dot Bandcamp, Bandcamp. So Bobby Washington dot, put that dot there, bandcamp.com. All my music goes there first, at least about a week to 2 weeks before it even drops. on the platform. I just dropped a record 2 days ago. The young lady asked me on the platform, is it on Apple yet? I'm like, nah, but it's on my website. Go get it there. I appreciate the love and the support. With that money, I'm going to take it and reinvest into the music. That's all I'm going to do. So I appreciate them going there to get all of my music.
Thank you so much again, Bobbie, for being here, for sharing your incredible journey with us. And thank you
I
to our
appreciate it.
audience for joining us for this episode of the Melissa Banks Show. I hope today's conversation with Bobbie Washington reminded you that your dreams are within reach, no matter where you're starting. Until next
Amen.
time, I'm your host, Melissa Banks. Remember, your journey is unique, your dreams are valid, and you have the power to design the life that you love. So keep believing, keep growing, and keep shining.